Happy Monday before Christmas, everybody! If you don't celebrate Christmas, I thoroughly apologize. However, it's not going to stop me from wishing you guys a Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to those who don't, like Kwanzaa or Hanukkah, or if you choose to not even celebrate. But I do want to get rolling today, and I want to talk about Disney. Maybe not Disney as like a company, but Disney as the things that they've created. Because you can hear me go on forever about Disney as a company, but things that Disney's created. Especially the Disney princess things. Okay, let me lay out the line right here for you. Frozen is not very original. This might bring the fangirls and the fanboys, make them rain fire and hellstone upon me, but it's not very original, guys. The themes have been executed before, not that big of a surprise. We have Lilo and Stitch as the sisterly connection that Frozen exhibits. There is also like people choosing other things over love in other films. I mean, Pocahontas is a good example. Pocahontas chooses to stay with her people, and John Smith chooses to go home. Mulan. I mean, yeah, Mulan and Shang discover that there is a genuine affection and genuine attraction to each other, but they are not immediately together, and she decides to continue to fight. She doesn't just kind of let it bowl over her. I mean, I think people try to make the Disney princesses out to be weaker than what they truly are, which is an awful, awful shame. Example and point, Ariel decided to become human because she was fascinated with humans, not because she was in love with Prince Eric. Belle, she did not fall victim to Stockholm syndrome. She had months around Beast and decided to avoid him totally. You know, there were points in time where she wasn't communicating with him. She's an oddball in her own sense, and he's an oddball in his world. So naturally, just kind of oddballs kind of gravitate towards each other sometimes. And in their case, it worked. Um, it just makes me mad. You know, when people try to make these females out to be poor examples of what a person should be and how it gives us false expectations for love. Maybe, yeah, your life's not going to turn out to be like a stereotypical love story. But that's what those are. They're stories. They're made up. Your story is probably going to have more bumps and rocks and dodges and turns and cars flipping over, and it might seem more like an action movie than a love story after a while. Uh, I mean, mine, I don't even have a story. Never been in any form of intimate relationship with anyone. I've never been kissed. Uh, and I'm perfectly fine. I'm perfectly fine. And I still love these films. Beauty and the Beast is one of my all-time favorites. I do have a special place in my heart for Tangled. Tangled is super cute. I do love Aladdin. I mean, one of my favorite lines is probably from Jasmine, and she says, I'm not a prize to be won. I mean, she sticks to her guns. She wants someone to love her for her, not because she's the princess of Agrabah. And then, dude, if you look at these ladies, they're pretty awesome. They're pretty amazing. And they're pretty excellent role models for little girls. They're not just laying around not doing any. Well, with the exception of Sleeping Beauty, yes, she's just laying around waiting for her prince to come, but that is the exception to the rule. Besides, in the original myth of Sleeping Beauty, the prince sleeps with her like 7 or 8 times, and she gives birth before she ever wakes up. So, no thank you. I would rather have my kid grow up with the Disney version of that one rather than the original. Thank you. The originals are freaky. Or weird. They're freaky or weird. Though, to be honest, if you want to go watch, like, Shelley Duvall's Fairy Tale Theater. You can find like a complete box set on Amazon for like $25. It's actually like right there on my shelf. It's pretty fantastic. Shelley Duvall, she was in The Shining and she was in Popeye, and she has all these big name stars. She like the Aladdin. And the Aladdin, it's from a recent film school graduate, Tim Burton directing, and it's got like James Earl Jones, and then like Pee Wee Herman is in one, which is not his name, I'm sorry, but I can't think of his real name right now. But oh, she's got Robin Williams as the Frog Prince. She has Mick Jagger as in one. I can't remember which one exactly off the top of my head. Oh, but it's just so many fun actors. Like if you watch the Rapunzel version, she's Rapunzel, and then Jeff Bridges is the prince. And it's just they're fun. They're like from the 80s, early 90s kind of thing, and they're really good. She sticks with the original myths. So Little Mermaid, she doesn't get her happily ever after. In the original myth of the Little Mermaid, she jumps off a cliff, okay, and becomes sea foam to follow the prince's ship wherever he may go. I'm not going to tell you how it gets to that point, but that's how it ends. So it's like we have the original versions and we have the Disney-fied versions, but I think the Disney versions are important because they give us these strong women and even strong men, okay? Aladdin would rather become someone different. So Jasmine would be proud to fall in love with him, but Jasmine doesn't want that. Jasmine wants him as a person, and I mean, it works. You know, that's what's the beauty of these stories, is that the same thing. I think, though, we do need more of a variety, and that's hard with fairy tales, because I mean, when fairy tales originated, women were kind of weak. They were kind of weak, and it was used as like a cautionary tale, and I think those were important. But now I think, as I'm a feminist, straight up, okay, feminist, and that doesn't mean I'm a man hater or anything like that. I'm just saying it's important. It's important for girls to know that they can be who they want to be, and they will still be loved for who they want to be. I think that's incredibly important, especially today, and especially for girls growing up in today, because I think it's only going to get harder for people to accept differences in each other rather than easier, because we're working for everybody becoming equal on a plane. But that's a utopia. I think it's never going to happen, but I think if each of us do our own little part, we might get closer. So sorry I go from Disney to a small feminist preach, but there it is. I am excited about what Disney might try to come out with next. They've got a Hawaiian princess story. I think it's Moana. I don't know how you pronounce the name, but I'm actually quite excited for that one because I think it's also important for more diversity. Though most of the fairy tale myths come from Scandinavian countries. That's why a majority of them are white females. I said it. But you could probably even find stuff like that all over Tumblr too if you were active on the Tumblr website. But I have things to do, Christmas presents to finish, and work to get to, because it's crazy. We got 3 days and counting, and I'm nowhere ready. But I hope you guys have a fantastic week with your families. If you do not have families, my heart is with you, and my love goes with you too. Be happy. Find ways to be happy. Watch your favorite movie this weekend. Go. The Hobbit's out. Go see The Hobbit or Exodus. That looks fantastic too. Go find little ways, whether with your family or if you are in the position of no family. Just have a fantastic week, guys. My heart is with all of you, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.